Most people think they're doing the right thing by saving money. And to be clear, saving is absolutely important. But here's something that might surprise you. If you're only saving and never investing, you're actually losing money every single year without even realizing it. Today, we're going to break down what investing really is, why saving alone isn't enough to build wealth, and the key differences you need to understand as a beginner. This is purely educational content, not financial advice, so let's dive in. First, let's define what we're actually talking about. Investing means putting your money into assets with the expectation that they'll grow in value over time. We're talking about things like stocks, bonds, real estate, or investment funds. Saving, on the other hand, is simply storing money somewhere safe and accessible, typically in a bank account. Here's the key distinction. When you save, your money sits there. When you invest, your money works for you. It's the difference between parking your car in a garage versus putting it on the road to generate income as a rideshare vehicle. Now, both have their place. Saving gives you security and immediate access to your money. Investing gives you the potential for growth. The problem is that most people overuse one and underuse the other. So why isn't saving enough? One word: inflation. Inflation is the gradual increase in prices over time. It means your money buys less and less as years go by. You've probably noticed this yourself. A gallon of milk that cost $3 10 years ago might cost $5 today. That's inflation at work. Let me show you how this affects your savings with a simple example. Let's say you have $10,000 in a traditional savings account. Your bank is generous and gives you 0.5% interest annually. Meanwhile, inflation is running at 3% per year, which is pretty typical historically. After 1 year, your account shows $10,050. Not bad, right? But here's the catch. Because of that 3% inflation, you would actually need $10,300 to have the same purchasing power you had at the start of the year. So even though your account balance went up by $50, your real purchasing power went down by about $250. You effectively lost money by doing what everyone told you was the safe thing. And this compounds over time. Over 10 or 20 years, the erosion of purchasing power becomes massive. This is why financial experts always say that cash is not a long-term investment. It's a tool for liquidity and safety, not for building wealth. This is where investing comes in. Historically, investments like stocks have returned an average of around 10% annually over long periods. Now, that's not guaranteed and there's definitely more risk involved, but let's look at the math. If you take that same $10,000 and invest it in a diversified stock fund, and let's say it grows at 7% annually after we account for inflation, here's what happens. In 10 years, you'd have approximately $19,670. Compare that to the savings account version, which might only grow to about $10,500 over the same period. That's a difference of over $9,000. That's the power of putting your money to work through investing rather than just storing it. Now, let me be very clear about something. This doesn't mean you should take all your money out of savings and dump it into the stock market tomorrow. Investing comes with risk. Markets go up and down. Some years you might lose 20%, other years you might gain 30%, but over long periods historically, the trend has been upward. This is why time horizon matters so much. Money you need in 6 months, keep it in savings. Money you won't need for 10, 20, or 30 years, that's where investing makes sense because you have time to ride out the short-term volatility. So what does this actually look like in practice? Most financial educators recommend keeping 3 to 6 months of living expenses in an easily accessible savings account. This is your emergency fund. If your car breaks down, if you lose your job, if you have an unexpected medical bill, this money is there and ready. Everything beyond that emergency fund, especially money earmarked for long-term goals like retirement, buying a home 5 or 10 years from now, or building generational wealth, that's what you should consider investing. Think of it this way: saving is your financial foundation. It gives you stability and peace of mind. Investing is how you build the structure on top of that foundation. You need both to create a complete financial picture. The mistake many people make is building an enormous foundation but never constructing anything on top of it. They have $50,000 sitting in a checking account earning nothing, losing purchasing power to inflation every year, when 30 or 40,000 of that could be working much harder for them in diversified investments. Let me quickly walk you through the most common mistakes I see beginners make. First, waiting for the perfect time to start investing. People wait for the market to drop or for them to understand everything perfectly or for some magical moment of clarity. Meanwhile, years go by and they miss out on growth. The research is clear: time in the market beats timing the market almost every single time. Second, panic selling when things go down. Markets fluctuate, sometimes dramatically. If you invest money and the market drops 15% the next month, that doesn't mean you made a mistake. It means the market did what markets do. If you sell in a panic, you lock in those losses. If you stay invested, history shows the market has always recovered over long time horizons. Third, investing money they'll need soon. This is the opposite mistake. If you're buying a house next year and you put your down payment in stocks, you're gambling. What if the market drops right when you need that money? Short-term money belongs in savings, long-term money belongs in investments. And finally, ignoring fees. Some investment funds charge 1.5% or even 2% annually. Others charge 0.1% or less. That difference might not sound like much, but over decades it can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Always know what you're paying. So here's the bottom line. Saving and investing aren't competitors, they're teammates. Saving gives you security and handles your short-term needs. Investing builds your long-term wealth and protects you from inflation. The biggest investing mistake isn't picking the wrong stock or buying at the wrong time. It's not starting at all. Because of compound growth, even small amounts invested consistently over time can turn into substantial wealth. If you're watching this and you're 25, 35, even 55 years old and you haven't started investing yet, that's okay. Today can be day one. The second best time to start is right now. Before we wrap up, I need to include a quick disclaimer. Nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor and I don't know your personal situation. This is purely educational content to help you understand these concepts. For personalized guidance, speak with a qualified financial professional who can look at your specific circumstances. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for more straightforward financial education. And let me know in the comments, what's your biggest question about getting started with investing? I read every comment and your questions help shape future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.